guys, and today I am just going to talk about my books that I read in March of 2020 because it is already a third of the way through April, so I figured I might as well make this video finally before April ends and I have to make that video and just forget because I'm so responsible. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I do things that I'm supposed to do. What? I'm sorry. I think I'm funny. You don't have to think I'm funny, but I think I'm funny. Well, anyway, so the first book that I read in March 2020 is What Light by Jay Asher. I had expected to finish it in February, but I didn't because I'm a failure. No, just kidding, because I read a lot of other books, and so, yeah, so I read that. And then that's the only book I actually physically read, like, that wasn't a graphic novel, so, yeah, I'll just, okay, so, I'm a minute into this, and I'm already messing up, and I don't have my laptop, so I can't edit stuff. It's at work. I'm not allowed to go to work because I'm out for 2 weeks because of Corona, but I do get to go back in a week, so it's been 1 week, and, yeah, the fact that it's been a week and I still haven't filmed this video is just a little bit funny to me. Maybe it's not funny to you, but whatever. Yeah, so I can't edit, so and I'm not very good at editing anyways because I haven't really done it. And so if you've watched any of my other videos, you probably know that. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better, and as I get better, I will do it. But as of right now, I do not have my computer to do it. Don't know how to do it on my phone, and don't really know how to do it at all. So now that that's out of the way, the next book that I read was, I don't have the actual book. I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children on audiobook, and I really liked that book. It's the first time I read it. I know it came out like years ago. I've seen the movie, and I always wanted them to make more movies because I loved that movie, and reading it, I understand why they couldn't, because some of the things they did made it very difficult to make the second movie, which I understand. Then after I did that, I read this is the first novel of the Nightmare Inspector, but I read that in February, but I only own the first 3 books, and I read the 4th, 5th, and 6th volume, so I figured I'd have at least something to hold up when I read that. So then, after I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, I read those 3, and then after I read those 3, I read Hollow City, which made even more sense why they couldn't make the second movie, because I don't know how they would do that, because the biggest thing that makes it so that they can have this book, I don't know if you've read this book, it's hard to say it without being all spoilery, for those of you who haven't read it yet, but the main thing in this book that, like, leads to basically the entire book is changed in the movie, so I don't know how they would even make this into a movie, even though I would still watch it. I would still want it. I'd like to see how they would do that, but obviously I can't do that. And I read that in audiobook as well. And then I read Library of Souls in audiobook because when I finished this, I just had to finish the other one because this is so good. And it's hard the way that Ransom Riggs finishes his books, it's very difficult to not just continue on to the next one. So I read the first 3, and then the first 3 were originally in a trilogy, so I paused, especially because there's a wait on the audiobooks online. If you have the Libby app or the Overdrive app and you have your audiobooks online, I use Overdrive, and that's how I get all of my audiobooks, because otherwise I would be broke because Audible is too expensive. I can't afford anything. Anyways, so next, I don't have this book, but I read also an audiobook, Gathering Blue, so that's the second Giver book. I read the first Giver book and I was like, oh my god, I need more. And then I read Gathering Blue and I was like, oh my god, this is not exactly more. Like, it's supposed to be in the same world, but I don't know. The 3rd and the 4th book I still haven't read those ones, so maybe it'll make more sense then. But as of right now, I have no clue whatsoever if they're gonna connect, because wow, the ending just why? Like, if you've read it, like, why did it end like that? Like, I would have been happier if it ended the way that I thought it was gonna end, but it's not. Okay, so after that, I read 7, 8, and 9 of this series, and let me tell you, this series, it's Nightmare Inspector, same series as before. Wow, 9 is the last volume, and the ending just destroyed me. Like, nope, not okay. I just was not okay after that. I was like, you did what to me? You did what to me? Okay. I definitely cried because I was like, how? If you've read it, if you like manga and you haven't read it, read it. It's good. I really liked it. But oh, that ending. I loved it. But oh my god. Okay, anyways, the next book that I read is Me Before You. I also don't have this one. I listened to the audiobook for that one as well, because the only one that I didn't listen to on audiobook was Wet Light. So other than the graphic novels, obviously an audiobook for a graphic novel, that would be, how would you even do that? But so I read the audiobook for Me Before You, and it was very, if you've seen the movie, you know it's a sad book. It's sad. It's just sad. But I definitely got a lot more out of the book than there was in the movie. Like, it definitely messes with your heart even more than the movie does, because the movie fucks with you. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but I just did. So can't edit. So we're just gonna go with it. And then after that, I read the first volume of The Bone. This is a graphic novel series. It was originally comic books, and they compiled them into 9 graphic novel series. So it is a large comic series, but it's super easy to get through. You can read like one of them in less than an hour. The biggest book in the series I read in less than an hour, but I didn't read that this month. I mean, I read it this month, but it's April, and I'm filming for March, so I didn't read that this month. I'll talk more about it then. Then I listened to the audiobook for another book I don't have the copy of, but it is The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones, and when I first started reading the book, I originally thought that I was going to absolutely hate it. And I was like, I'm just gonna listen to it because, Mae Whitman is reading it. I love Mae Whitman, and, it's one of my sister's favorite books. So I'm like, but it was just so overhyped that I was just so sure that I would hate it. And I am glad to say that I was wrong. I actually really like that series, and I will be continuing it in this month, in April, but not in March. Of course, this is a wrap-up. I will be continuing it. I have not, so obviously it's going to be in April. Brain work. One thing about that I want, because everybody that I've talked to about it has always said, or booktubers that I've watched about it has always said, to read it in publication order, and I will not be doing that because I will be reading it in the trilogies. So I'll be reading the first 3 of the Mortal Instruments, and then I will read the 3 Infernal Devices, and then I will read the next 3 of the Mortal Instruments, and then I will read the Dark Artifices, and then when all 3 of them come out, I will read the new series that has like the Chain of Gold. But I don't want to read that until it's like all together, because I don't like finishing half of a series. So the reason I am doing that is because that just seems like it'll be better for me reading. And I know that it'll spoil things that happen in the Mortal Instruments, the second part of that, but I'm okay with that. Okay? I'm okay with it. You be okay with it. And I'm not going to change the way I'm reading it, because the library would not like the way that I put them on hold. Anyways, after that, I read volumes 2, 3, and 4 of this. I'm not going to go get them because that is a lot of effort, and I would have to stand up and go get them, and I'm not gonna do that. So that is the 18. I think it's no 17. Yeah, I think it's 17 books that I read in the month of April. Nope, not April, in March, because I can't keep anything straight. I hope you guys enjoyed and liked hearing my little thoughts on them. Um, I will probably do a video when I finish the Mortal in the. I'll probably do a video more on Cassandra Clare's books when I finish them, and just more details about that. I probably will do more on the Givers Quartet when I finish all 4 of those, see how I feel towards the end. But the Bone, the Nightmare Inspector, and maybe Miss Peregrine's, I don't know. But I will not be doing more videos on those, at least not right now, because that is a lot of effort, and I don't really have like a lot to say on them, and everything that I did have to say is really on my Goodreads, so I don't really have a lot to say on those series. They're just kind of there. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go now, and bye.